Hey everybody, it's Cece Starda Kuzmanovic here, and I'm just jumping on really quickly to talk to you all about a few things, and I wanted to talk to you about why I named the brand, named this page, what I named it, the reason why I came up with this name. I want to talk to you about what the purpose of this page is and some of the um, some of the goals that I have for all of the followers here. I also want to talk to you about the very distinct nature of this page and what the cross section is between my two major goals for all of you, for all of our followers here. Okay, so let's start off with the name. All right, Splendidly Intrepid. Beautiful name, I thought, but it's not just beautiful just because it's beautiful. It's the meaning behind the words that I chose. Splendid, splendor. It comes from the word splendor, which means of greatness and magnificence. Okay? I truly believe that every single one of us have splendor and magnificence inside each of us. I have no doubt about this. This to me is fact. Each one of you are splendid human beings. The second word, intrepid, it means fearless. It means undaunted. Splendidly intrepid is what my wish is for humanity, for all humans to tap back into that splendor, that fear, that splendor, that magnificence, coupled with that fearlessness that they had as a child. Intrepid also means not just fearlessness, but adventurous as well. Weren't you adventurous as a child? As a toddler, you were all over the place, touching things and looking at life with childlike awe and wonder. And then somewhere along the lines, we lost it. Some of us lost it altogether. Some of us lost it a little bit. But life and programming and different fears that were just put into us made it so that we no longer have that fearlessness. We were taught fear instead. So this page is called Splendidly Intrepid because of that. Because I and we together, we can get as many people as possible back into that magnificence that they were, that they always are, that they really are right now, but that they're pinching themselves off from. That magnificence that is your birthright as a human being here on this planet. And intrepid, to be fearless and adventurous again. It's so exciting for me. Here, as some of you might already know because of the series that I've launched a few weeks ago, Mindset Mondays, one of the biggest points to this page is mindset, right? Mindset Mondays. But more to the point is also the fact that I'm teaching law of attraction because I really, really believe in the law of attraction. And whether or not you believe it or not, believe in it or not, it's there. It happens every day. It is the supreme law of the universe because it is the most powerful law because nothing on in the universe, I was going to say on earth, but nothing in the universe escapes the law of attraction. Nothing. It affects literally everything. And the law of attraction, let me make sure that I get the wording right. It's that the essence of that which is like unto itself is drawn. The essence of that which is like unto itself is drawn. You will literally draw vibrationally what is out there, what is inside you, like what you're thinking, you draw it onto yourself. I teach that in such depth here on this page because it is so important to understand how it all works because too many of us live life by default. We react. We don't create. We react. I've been guilty of it up until I learned how to use the law of attraction. But rather than waiting for things to happen in your life, waiting for things to unfold, and then reacting in happiness or in fear or in joy or in or what you get the point. Rather than reacting, we can instead pave the way ahead of us energetically and demand that life is going to be a certain way because it is your right, it is your power, because you are human, because you're homo sapien, you have metacognition, meta, metacognition, cognition, and that means that you have the power to monitor your own thoughts, to observe your own thoughts, and because of that, you have the power to plan your day, to put out the vibration that is needed in order to make that day unfold exactly as you want it to unfold. There's never, once you know this law and once you know how to apply it, there is never any excuse for you to ever have a bad day. There is no excuse for failure. There is no excuse to not getting what you want once you learn how to apply. You can get anything you want on earth once you learn how to apply this law. Once you know the law, once you know how it works, once you know how to energize, once you know how to align yourself. You know, a little tidbit here, out there in California at this place called the Heart Math Institute, they are doing some amazing things with coherency between the energy that comes from the heart and the energy that comes from the brain. These two energy centers. They measured the electric energies because energy is electromagnetic, right? So they measured the electric energy that comes from the heart and the energy that comes from the brain. And they found that the electric energy that comes from the heart versus the one that comes from the brain is 60 times more powerful from the heart than it comes from the brain. Then they measured the magnetic energy and they found that the magnetic energy that comes from the heart is 5,000 times more powerful than that which comes from the brain. And we saw it all our lives in literature. We saw literature, Bible, whatever you want to draw from. You've heard this before. Do it with all your heart. Put your heart into it. Oh, that kid's got heart. Oh, that baseball player, he really plays with heart. Right? Or she loved him or he loved her with all his heart. You see? References to this have been made through our entire history, but we really never really do think about it. But now science is backing that up. Science is backing that up. So if you have an incoherent signal, you're thinking something, oh, I want this. But you've got doubt. Oh, what if I don't get it? Guess what? That incoherent signal is never going to allow you to have it because you don't have your heart into it. You're not aligned in your own being. You're not aligned. But there's an even bigger way to align. So let's say that you have metacognition and you know that you're misaligned between your brain and your own heart. You might want something, but you don't fully believe that you're going to get it. All right. If you lower your resistance, which is that contradictory signal between the two is a resistance because you're resisting, you're not allowing what you want. So if you lower your resistance, you immediately raise your vibration and then you connect. You're easily connected then with the source of it all, with source energy. If we can get really scientific about it because science is backing what I'm saying up through the quantum field, through the concept of the quantum field. And if you connect back up to the quantum field, to the place where everything is, to the field of pure potentiality, now you've bypassed all your humanness and you've gone back into the non-physical world because we all came from non-physical. All of us came from non-physical. We are here in physical form as an expression and an extension of our non-physical real selves, the bigger part of us. Jill Bolte Taylor, that's an excellent TED Talk out there. Jill Bolte Taylor put out her TED Talk, and it was called A Stroke of Insight. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of it, but basically she's a neuroscientist who had a stroke, who observed her entire life through the eyes of her being a neuroscientist and going through a stroke. So it was fascinating. And you know what she actually found? She found that she was so much more, because once her brain shut down, she was observing the power that she really has as a non-physical being. And then it blew her mind, because she's like, well, I am so big. I am so huge. How can I fit into this tiny, 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 tiny body? And then once she recovered, she came back in, but she couldn't believe how really big she was as a non-physical entity. And that's all of us. That's not just her. That's all of us. Every single one of us have this greater part of us that's a non-physical. Okay? And I love talking about this subject and teaching about this subject and motivating and inspiring based on this subject, because it is the key. It is the key to wild success. It is the key to becoming splendid again in your lives. It is the key to becoming intrepid again. Be completely fearless, to not ever, ever, ever have any fear at all. And you walk through life head high, chest out, because you know that you can just take on the world. Nothing can harm you. You will always be protected because you have deemed it so. The law of attraction says that it is law. It will happen for you. If you get your mind right, you will always be protected. You will never, ever, ever, ever feel unnecessary pain. We came to this life for one purpose and one purpose only: to love as much as possible, to enjoy as much as possible, and all that is inside of that one purpose. To experience as much as possible. As Abraham, to quote Abraham Hicks, we are on the leading edge here as humans. We are pushing this human experience because we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. We all are. And we are here pushing those bounds very, very far. Very, very far, further than they've ever been pushed before. Yes, it's true. Some of you might be saying to yourselves right now, we are in the worst times ever. Okay, I'm not going to argue that, but you cannot argue with the fact that we're also in the best times ever. We are experiencing the best times on this planet ever. So it's both. It's both at the same time, because as humans, we are on the leading edge. We are on the leading edge, pushing forth. Now, which one are you going to focus on? The negative or the positive? You have a choice. And if you focus on the positive, you're going to get more and more and more of that. Okay? Focus on the negative, you're going to get more and more and more of that as well. Okay, now, here is the part where I'm going to tell you guys about the cross-section between law of attraction, that I love to teach here in this page, law of attraction, and the other aspect of what I teach here. Okay, so a little known fact about me is that I am a lawyer. I'm actually a lawyer. I went to law school, and I had 3 babies right after law school. And once that 3rd baby came, I stopped working altogether because I could not bear to be away from my children anymore. Okay. I made peace with that. You know, all this work and all this preparation and all this testing, and you can imagine how my parents felt about me deciding to not work anymore, how a lot of my colleagues felt, like I got marginalized a little bit for that decision. I'm no longer in the club. Okay, not a problem. I made peace with it. The only 2 opinions that count are mine and mine. My opinion in my heart, my head, my opinion in my heart, perfectly aligned. I was good with source, no problem. But I did still want to have the life that being a lawyer, that having all that education equals, like, what is it? Pay grade, education equals pay grade, that sort of thing. All right. But you know what? That doesn't really mean what it does anymore right now in this day and age. Excuse me. Because we are living in a digital age where we actually can make a lot of money on our own terms, working on the internet, leveraging online tools, leveraging the never sleeps power of the internet, and grabbing a worldwide audience. Here we are, we're speaking English. I actually speak 6 languages, okay? But let's just talk about English right now. I'm speaking English to you. I'm actually right now communicating with the entire English speaking world. That means that I'm talking right now to Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all the US, all of Europe, all of Africa, and all of the expatriated Anglo speakers all over the world. That might There's a bunch of them right now that I know personally in Indonesia, for example, a non-English speaking country, but they're there. A bunch of my friends who live in South America. Well, you get the point. All the English speakers that are in China right now, and so forth and so on. The internet has made all of this completely possible, and all you have to have is just a little bit of passion, a little bit of passion and a little bit of Wi-Fi. And if that passion is of such intensity that you really want to go ahead and reach out to the world with your idea, your brand, your blog, your message, your products, your services, you can, just like that, with the touch of a button. You just have to know how to do it. You just have to know how all the moving parts work together. And that's the other part of what I teach here in Splendidly Intrepid. And for those of you that really want to partake of the rest of that aspect, I invite you to come over to Success with Cece, where that is all about internet marketing. And that's all, that page, that's a group actually, and it's all about teaching the different tricks and how it all works together. And it's a whole lot of fun over there. Here, though, I teach a little bit of all of it because not everyone wants to necessarily work online. The reason why I introduce it here is because now more than ever, this internet that we live so much by right now, it equals freedom for so many people through a job, through a self-made job, that is. Where is the oh yes, all right, so some examples for you to reach into of people that have done excellently with their online brands, their online business, their online services, or people like, and you can look them up yourself. Marie Forleo, for example, she is completely online, and she is a multi-million-dollar company in herself, and she's been working at it for a few years now. I've been following her for about 5 or 6 years, and she had started shortly before then, and she's doing excellently. So you can look her up and draw inspiration from her. Tara Marino of Elegant Femme, she's doing something just so wonderful, and she's her and her husband does the men and she does the women, and she teaches women and her husband teaches men on how to tap into not quite archetypes, but for those that aren't familiar with her, let's just call them archetypes, female archetypes and male archetypes. The like she taps into 3 major aspects of life in it's businessy, and there's the businessy aspect of you, and there's the dress up part of you, and there's the well, anyway, there's three there's 3 different archetypes. I can't remember the third one right now, but she's doing great just based off of that system that she developed, and she's offering it as a service. Then there's Drew Canole, who is doing awesome. That's Canole, Drew Canole, out in California, and he just one funnel. He learned how to make sure that his one funnel was working correctly, and now he is raking in millions and millions of dollars every year just based off of his online business, his online sales. And Billy Gene, last name Gene, he is out in San Diego also, and he's doing such amazing things with marketing. and internet marketing, to be specific, Facebook marketing. It was one of his fortes. He actually teaches it. So he does it for companies and he teaches it to people like you and me. And he is doing awesomely multi-million dollars as well. So all that to say that the reason why Splendidly Intrepid is named Splendidly Intrepid is because I really want to offer myself to the world to bring as many people back to their splendor and their fearlessness so that they can live a life that is splendidly adventurous and fearless. And also, another little known fact about me is that I am a Reiki master. Since 1998, I've been certified in Reiki, and I am also a certified aromatherapist. I'm a natural healer, and I that to me is splendor galore because it is a way to keep bodies healthy and keep people happy and not have to go to the doctor and take medications that you don't have to. My children, for example, and I'm going to say this, I'm not a doctor, so anything that I share with anybody here on this page is just strictly anecdotal. Okay, do find yourself, this is the lawyer in me talking now, always find yourself a medical professional's opinion before you take on any of the information that I give you, because it is strictly anecdotal. But anecdotally, I'll share with you that my kids, for example, recently had strep throat, a bad case of strep throat with white patches on the tonsils, and they also had pink eye very recently. Not at the same time, but in the past few months, they had both of those. I have 3 kids, and not one antibiotic, and I killed it expeditiously. Killed the pink eye expeditiously, and killed the strep throat quicker than quick. And I love to share all that information because if you don't know, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. But if you hear someone like me who used XYZ to kill ABC disease, issue or sickness or whatever, might be worth looking into. Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. And those of you that are watching this on the replay, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're all here. As you can see, I can talk about these topics all day long, but thankfully we have this page that'll still be available. And you guys, please reach out to me if there's anything that I can ever help you with. Do not hesitate to reach out. Send me a message. I am here. I am available, and I am so pumped to be in a position to share all the best of myself with all of you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Until next time, Cici Estrada Kuzmanovic again. Welcome once more to Splendidly Intrepid, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.